So when it comes to one of the big names in not just the private detective industry, but also for surveillance, I choose this guy right here. So him and another industry great, Dean Booth, they're going to do a presentation here. I know it's only 50 minutes or more, maybe an hour. Literally, I could sit all day and listen to this guy. We personally have taught classes together. I personally vouch for him. There is just so much he's even going to cover. There's even stuff that if you want the other material, you got to call him up, pick his brain, because he pretty much has an example for almost everything that can happen to you while you're on surveillance. So I turn it over to John Frycek.
Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to say Andy Shu is remarkable. He put this thing together along with Catherine. They did an impeccable job, a very good thing. I think my partner over here, I think he got sexually trafficked. Are you back or you got? All right. All right, you'll recover. Okay. All right. My name is John Frycek. Oh, no, there's no crying in baseball. Don't worry. So my name is John Frycek. Between Dean Gluth and myself, I'd like to welcome you to this ongoing seminar. And between us both, we got...
have a Sharpie? I got to write my name on there.
There you go. Well, it's old presentation, but anyway. Dean Gluth and I, between us both, we're older guys. We have about a little over 70 years in this business, okay, in surveillance. Him and I are both still sitting in vans and SUVs and vehicles and cold and miserable and suffering. But, you know, I got to tell you something. This business is like getting socked, okay? Because this business, it's a survival of really, you have to really do a lot of things in a van, and it's a lot of time. It's an inconvenience of truth. It's a necessary evil brought on by, getting the chain of custody of evidence for your client. Everybody knows we have to do the right thing. So, Dean, why don't you introduce yourself and do what you do best?
I'm not sure what my best is except for surveillance. I've been the owner of Infomax Investigations since 1995, so I got literally 30 years owning an agency. I worked for a licensed private detective for 5 years before that, so I've been doing surveillance, and that has been my specialty the entire 30 years of my career. My specialty was always been workers' comp surveillance. Got over 6,600 cases under my belt personally, and so what I always say to people who think that they want to get into surveillance is, hey, you better think about it, whether you really want to, because all the things that John just said, it's not fun, it's cold, it's hot, it's long, it's boring, but then sometimes it's great, and it's oftentimes challenging. It's changed over the years, and so there's things, a new surveillance guy comes into the world and has to learn the hard way what not to do next time. And that's where eventually our years of experience have allowed us now to hopefully spread that knowledge out to you guys. Anybody wants to become a surveillance geek and become a surveillance investigator. I love it, and I also hate it many times. But
we understand a lot of you do a lot of service of process and interviewing and this, that, next thing. Some of you are older up there in years. You don't want to do surveillance anymore because, like I said, it's a sacrifice of convenience. It really is. And a lot of times, I've been there, done it, seen it. But Dean and I still share the same passionate cause to make it a difference for our clientele. Now, what is actually surveillance? As you know, surveillance is the systematic operation and observation of people, places, things, structures, and we're here to verify facts and maintain the chain of custody of evidence. Now, we are not, of course, law enforcement, but we are legal enforcement, okay? So we go out there, we produce prima facie evidence based upon our observational advantages, governed by film footage, video footage, or by word of mouth. As licensed private investigators, we can testify in court or the industrial commission against various cases involving FMLA, workers' compensation, obviously, which is a felony in the state of Illinois. I don't know if anybody knows that. So you're off on an injury and you're collecting your TDD checks. You're getting 82% of your salary. If you're is 82, but if you are caught, it's a class 4 felony. Now, how actionable is it by law and by police sciences? It's yet to be determined, because we know that in this state, you have to really kill a family of 5 in order for a state's attorney to come up with a ruling. But surveillance it's not for everybody. Like I said, the sacrifice of convenience is going to be you're in a van, you're in a vehicle, you're doing your thing, you have to go to the washroom, you're tired, you know, you have to go number one or number two. And the thing is, you have a lot of mind searching. There's a lot of mind searching. Like when I'm on surveillance, I don't know about Dean, I think about what I'm going to have for dinner 3 years down the line because you're getting in tune yourself. Okay. It's like when you call self-preservation, man, you're your own last and best friend because you have to have the moxie, the commitment, the fortitude, and the patience to do what you do best and look alive, not be distracted, not be on your social media phone or your laptop or this, or you're just taking a snooze. Now you're losing. But you have to do a lot of this. Can everybody do that? Remember? 6th grade? Can you effectively observe, document, and multitask at the same time? If you can't, God forbid you have ADDH or whatever you have, if you can't do that and pay attention to the rabbit, as I call it, is the mark that you're surveilling or watching, if you can't do that, you're probably not going to be good for this field because you have to be unilateral, okay? You're like 6 hours on surveillance and all of a sudden, here comes the claimant out of the garage. You look alive, your blood pressure, everything comes alive. You're like, whoop, time to be on. And that momentum and that element of surprise is really gets you. Start the car, put it in gear, make sure there's no children around riding their bikes, make sure the old lady crevice is not looking at you, stopping, and going. So there's a lot to it that you have to pay attention to. Good.
Surveillance, one last thing we're going to mention, we're doing reports, investigative reports. We observe, we report for our clients. Important thing to know, obviously they need to be accurate and truthful, etc. Filing a false investigative report, even to your client, who then presents it to the Illinois Workers' Comp Commission, which used to be the Industrial Commission, or even though Indiana's and Wisconsin's work comp boards, if you submit a false report that has a false statement, fictitious, fabricated paragraph, information, that's a crime. False report, filing a false police report has come up. Anyway, that is the ethical line. You gotta always make sure we're talking factual truth. So.
A lot to do with ethical considerations and legal boundaries. Like Dean said, there's a lot of times we're like, oh, hell, I'm late on this. I'll just change the time and date to it. Okay, that's not good. You get big trouble, get your license out of that. The professional in the field, the conduct, the discretion, and the adaptability. Surveillance environments, the urban, suburban, there's a lot of things that are going to be involved with this. Doing your due diligence. It's really nice going on Google or doing a map readout of the image of the house. Do your due diligence before you get there. Remember, practice never makes perfect, it only makes better. But do your pre-surveillance reconnaissance if you have the chance to do so. Because it's 5 o'clock in the morning, it's dark, you can't see the address. Are you watching the right house? Are you not? Okay, very important to get that physical image of the house and have your binoculars, your night vision. We'll get into all that.
This is where I get to add my fun story. Hopefully cheer somebody up with this story. I do a pre-recon for every case. And again, like you said, Google Earth, etc. Print up documents, run vehicles, run license plates. So I know when I show up what's on the driveway, whose plate that is, whose car it is, etc. Confirm their address, confirm they even live there so I don't go to the wrong house. All of that. One time, looking for an address, can't find it. Google Earth doesn't recognize my street. Sometimes that means to me that might be a brand new subdivision. Maybe it's just developed, it's not even in Google Earth yet. So sometimes I'm at a date, I'll call the county, I'll call the police or the sheriff and, hey, can you help me out with this? I got this address and I can't seem to find it, so I know maybe where I'm gonna end up going. And they say, oh yeah, redirect me. One time, responder, dispatcher said, oh, that's in the newest county. And I went, what? Which one is that? And she told me where it was, and I was like, oh shit, okay, all right. So I had to call my client and tell him where this street was, this address that he gave me, and he said, yeah, well, so what? Are you gonna work it? Okay, if you need it, I guess. And I went and joined the newest county. I worked there for 3 days, so that's.
Maybe they don't like me at Newest Colonies. I make people throw up a lot when they see me.
When you're pre-surveillance, do you ever call the local authorities and let them know?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what
Very crucial. Now, Chicago, forget it. Very important to do. Call the authority. Always say, I'm on a civil investigation, not a criminal investigation. And I would leave the word out, domestic investigation, even you're working on domestic investigation. I'm on it because the cop might, oh, I hate guys who rat on guys, I'm a macho guy. Say, I'm on a corporate investigation for an insurance company. I'm a claims investigator, this, that, next thing. Give them your license plate, be calm, be authoritative, but be distinctive and say, here's my license plate number, here's my phone number, here's the agency I work with. And then that's professional. And get the star number. It's usually a dispatch person, but get their name and their star number so you could corroborate it when Johnny Cop comes and saying, what are you doing in my town? Very important to do that. Very important to do that.
In Chicago, I will try and reach the desk sergeant at the
Talk louder. We can't hear you.
In Chicago, I will try and get through to the desk sergeant at the relevant police precinct.
That-
Not a lot of luck,
That's
but I
helpful.
try.
That's
Call the
helpful.
right dispatch center.
It's
The right precinct.
it's always
Also,
standard
I
practice.
will, everything comes with a give and a take, a pro and a con, a flip side of every story. My flip side of that is, one time I did check in with the police department, as I used to, always. Now I don't anymore because of my story. There's some people who do believe this is ethical and the proper way to do it, check in every time. My personal story is, I checked in, told them what I was doing, where I was gonna be, blah, blah, blah. Every time I followed my claimant, he made me. I was in traffic, I got made. Came out with two guys. We tried to bracket the neighborhood. Every time he would leave, we'd follow him, he made us. I had to put three guys on. I said, all right, we're gonna bracket this whole subdivision, and when he goes out, we're gonna do the leapfrog in traffic. He's never gonna see our car more than once, we're gonna change. He made us. By fifth or sixth time I go out and do that surveillance, I finally get rolled up on by a cop. He just rolled up to my surveillance van. He rolled down his window. I rolled down mine, and he goes, "Hey, you working Blarney again?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, his mom is a dispatcher in our department.
It happens.
So anyway, take that out. It'll be great. That's all.
Let's get about multitasking. Last minute case assignments. Your personal life is going to be problematic. Let's just face it. Oh, I had game tickets, man. Hey, you're a low person on the totem pole. You got to work. Okay? You got to sow your oats. Managing your perfect life, managing and video, you're editing and creating a report. Okay? Take notations. Take summary reports. What are the agency you're working for? I will tell you that ChatGPT to me is a godsend. Okay? I still write reports the old-fashioned way, but you want to remain writing reports in third party, whether it be FMLA investigations, corporate investigations, it would be workers' compensation investigations. But what I really like is I will talk text. I got arthritic fingers over the years. Talk text my report into, like, say, a Word document, copy and paste it into ChatGPT, and it develops a storyline over the time. It gives you a 99.9% accurate report, and it's astounding. Now, you have to edify it. You have to go in and take a look at things to make sure it's cool. But I will tell you something. It's a game changer, and for those who are not using it today, especially with investigations, I did surveillance involving a blurry plate from Wisconsin. I put the plate, I cut and pasted into ChatGPT and analyzed it and gave me the right numeric numbers. Wow. ChatGPT changing the game of investigations. If you want to write a proposal, you want to do another report, you want to do this, you want to formulate a different picture like an advertisement or whatever you want to do, it really is a godsend, and it's kind of scary for the future too. But multitasking is paramount in this field. Communication with your superiors and your other staff members is also intrinsic. I can't stand for all the people who work for me when I buy their phones and pay for their phones and everything, they don't answer them. You're not selling Twinkies at the local hardware store. You are a private investigator, not detective, because we know those who are licensed are deemed private detectives, and people underneath us are private investigators. But the fact of the matter is, when they don't answer the phone, that really ticks me off. Now, my passionate cause, as well as Mr. Gluth here, we're on board 7 days a week. Okay? Now, the thing is, people have to pay a proprietary interest, especially when they want into this field. They want to govern themselves accordingly, get their license someday, have their own agency. You got to pay the price.
The price is also having the previous surveillance reports, maybe from previous investigations, maybe even the insurance company had previous surveillance companies from other companies. You look at previous reports, see a pattern on somebody. You don't know when to go out. Maybe you don't know what time. Maybe you need to get there earlier by looking at previous activity. I always used to give my files to my investigators, and I make sure review that the night before. If you don't review it the night before, you could get screwed. So don't get out there on scene and start reviewing it. Now it's too late. They're already gone. But anyway, that's part of the thing I talk about when people are home with their family the night before. Don't be just watching TV. If you want to, please go through that file, would you, before you get out tomorrow morning? Anyway, go ahead. Oh, go back to your previous slide. I wanted to say something about this.
Did you? Oh, okay, go. Okay.
This is, John sent me this last night. I was laughing because.
Oh, I have a typo.
No.
He's an English instructor.
Go back to the picture with the girl with throwing the stuff in the air. All right, multitasking is easy. Where is she going?
All right.
She's got 3 hands. Anybody notice that?
Chat GPT. Hey, humans still need to be involved with that.
You can multitask
The thing is,
with 3 hands.
Dean is also a part-time English teacher. He looks for edification. But let me just tell you.
Diane's got a question.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to add something to you. Definitely don't wing it. The night before you read that paperwork.
Yeah.
And you look at that license plate number, because I have caught a guy on the way to the case.
Right.
Because I was watching all the license plates coming this
As
way.
you're
and
driving
I caught
through
him
the
before I
scene.
even got to the set.
It happened
Let's talk about the 6
20
Ps.
times in my career at least.
Here's the 6 Ps. Proper planning prevents piss poor performance. Do your due diligence. Have everything going. Your video camera. Oh, I don't have to carry a gun. Oh, I don't know. Shut up about the gun. Here is your best friend. It's a video camera. Nice. Get to know it just like your second spouse. Sorry. Or boyfriend or whatever. You know what. So what I'm trying to say is this. This is going to be your best friend. Okay? You have to understand it. Read the manual. Read all about it. It's very important. I just go, how's this thing working? Oh, I'm older. I don't know about this crap. No. Listen, I'll be 60 next week. He's a little bit older than me, not by much. We have, age discrimination. Sue me. Stand in line. There's my lawyer. Here's the thing. You have to stay prudent and on top of technology, because I'm going to tell you, if you're over 45, 50, you're getting up there, it's going to pass you up. I make it my term to understand surveillance. So proper planning prevents piss poor performance. Your video camera, of course, your mobile phone. You have your USBs. Oh, I forgot my USB charger. Not good. Your digital audio recorder, very good. I'm at Alma Nation. Okay, Alma blah, blah, blah. Okay? Your window shades and black curtains. A lot of times people say, oh, I got to sit down, I'll just wing it. The real true methodology of doing professional surveillance is in a minivan. Second, it is an SUV. Not pink, yellow, white. Earth tones are very good, but having the proper disguises and concealment of shades, which they sell on Amazon for cheap, foldable shades, windshield, sides, everything. But when you're driving, make sure you keep them down because you're going to get in an accident. Because here you're driving blind, I can't see where I'm going. Because you're drowning and your stress inoculation is going to go from, I'm really bored here and I'm hungry and I got to go doo-doo. And now it's up to here because here comes the mark. So remember that. But the shades are very important.
Let me
Yep, please.
on that. Black curtains. I go to Joann Fabric. I buy a big, huge sheet of fleece, black fleece, black, sweatshirt material, and cut it to the window sizes. I put across. I got 2 smaller ones for the 2 side windows in the rear. I got another one that, anyway, these go on my trips everywhere. These go on my luggage. I got the cards, hotel cards that you use for key cards that get you into your hotel room, I steal those. Every time I go in a hotel, I keep them. I got a stack of them. They're all over my ceiling in my van because now I take those curtains and tuck it in the windows. I go in Los Angeles, I rent a vehicle, I can tuck these curtains in every window. You need them all around. That's what I do now. Why? When you're in the van and you put the curtain up and they're looking at you, they can't see you if the curtain that you have hanging behind you is down. If it's black behind you and black inside, they can't see you. Once that curtain is up behind you, if you failed to put it up or forgot to put it up or it fell down, they can see through and see you. So that's why I always put curtains up. I always keep them up. He says he doesn't drive with them. I always have them up. I use my rear view mirrors and side view mirrors. And if anybody wants to see how this is done, my van is right out here afterwards. I'll show you during a break. I'll show you how I go in there, put them up, take them down. It's real easy. And
Well, once you get into it, you may not come back. So be
another one
careful.
tip.
You may be. But the thing is, each of their own practice. Okay, the curtains, the shades, these things are foldable. They're easy. Like Dean said, the curtains, they got magnetic strips now that you could put them up temporarily. Of course, they got Velcro this side, but be careful of Velcro because when it gets hot in the summer, it gets gooey and it falls down. So you have to practice. Some people put lines and string lines up, but your curtains and your concealment is paramount because you don't, even though you got tinted windows, you still on a sunny day could be silhouetted. And old lady Keller and Karen, they're going to be like, someone's in that vehicle. And the children are coming home. And I think that person might be masturbating in there. I mean, it happens. It happens.
Or it's not even just silhouetted too. If you're in there in that window and the sun is coming in on you from the side that they are, if the sun is beating on you and the sun is on me and I can see that it's hitting me, they can see me out there. You got to get out of the sunlight. You got to get out of the spotlight. It's literally a spotlight, and that has ruined me. Early on in my career, I learned that a couple times the hard way.
So obviously we mentioned minivans, SUVs, sedans if you have to, and full-size cargo vans. A lot of federal departments, of course, they use full-size cargos. They put them in place, and then they have what is called a trail car, okay? A tail car. Remember, when you're working for police or federal agencies, you have about anywhere from 3 to 12 agents. As private investigators, it's just us. So that makes the skill set of a private investigator, not to knock any federal agencies, but I'm going to tell you something. The skill set set forth for a professional private investigator involved with surveillance is excellent because usually on your own, because they're not going to pay for a two-person. And you know what I'm talking about. So the thing is, those are good with cargo vans. Then we have sedans, which, yes, you don't want to have a bright colored sedan. Earth tones are good.
Key. I go across the country. I work all over the country. I got to rent a vehicle in LAX or Dallas airport. I go rent a vehicle. I walk out there, get my vehicle. It's red. I'm like, I got to go back to the desk and go, that ain't going to work. You got to switch me up. Green is nice, but silver and white are best. Black is good.
It's not about vanity. And it's about changing outfits too. Have a change of clothes. Remember, you could always dress up and dress down. If you go to a venue, you can't be dressed down and then dress up. It's very quick. It's very, cumbersome. Have shorts, have a t-shirt. Your claimant might be going to a health spa. You might have to tag the door, pay the fee. Hey, I want to look at this health spa. Grab your covert camera, whether it be glasses or a keychain, whatever. You're going in now to see your claimant working out.
Should I have a pretext story ready in case?
Absolutely. We're going to get into pretext, and that's something that's called constructive deception. A lot of people have pause over that. When people come work for me, I ask them, do you have a problem lying? Well, I like to tell the truth. So do I. But in this profession, it's called constructive deception, legal. You cannot just tell the truth on people when you're doing ruses and pretexts. Hi, I'm a licensed private investigator. I'm looking at the guy next door. Can I ask you some questions? No. That is an overt, open investigation. If you're doing covert investigation, you don't want to do that. But we'll get into a little bit more with pretexts. So vehicle use is very important. Like I said, full tank of gas always. A lot of my younger agents, boss, I only have a quarter tank. Whoa, you're going to Iowa. What's up? I got to stop, man. I'm going to run out of gas. No, man, I don't have any money. Okay, usually some people, let's face it, it's a hard economy, right? They don't have credit cards. They have this. I'll spot them a credit card and give them some cash. You have to have that. Remember the 6 Ps. Okay, you have to have that proper discernment. If you don't, you're going to really do a bad job for your client, and it's going to show. So remember, cameras charged, extra batteries, okay? Everything has to be charged. And you also have to have rechargeable cables and rechargeable packs. I like this if you're going to do surveillance. I have this nice little handy, Amazon is my kingdom, nice little handy 110 outlet little pack, cost me $60. It's great. All day charge, all my cameras, all my devices. If I'm ever in a pinch, it's in a case, boom, or a cigarette lighter. A lot of times though, the cigarette lighter will only work for 10 minutes. If the car's not on, it's going to go off. And you think, oh, I'm charging, but I'm not charging. So remember, these little things are like rubbing your belly and tapping your head at the same time. Dean? Good.
Keep going.
I'm a chatty patty.
I don't keep going.
Just keep going?
You got pages. We got to get going.
All right, no problem. Well, all I'm trying to say is this is not for everybody. Now, let's get back to number 1 and number 2. Okay. We're all grown up here. Oh, yeah, I can't believe you're talking about that. Yes. Men have urinals. There are women urinals too. Okay. There are V-shaped urinals that are great for women. And then there's regular hospital urinals for men because when you got to go, you got to go. There's also little porta potties that they sell on Amazon for $30. They're collapsible. Okay. If you really have to go, you could push up the seat all the way on the passenger side, curtain up. Okay. Do your thing. Wrap it up in the bag with some, some sweet, smelling stuff, whatever. Cork it up. You got to do it. When you got to go, you got to go. It may happen that way. If not, you got to reconsider it. A lot of times, oh, I got to go. But the nearest washroom is the rural area. It's 12 miles away. That's going to be a problem. So your body is going to have to regulate itself for number 1 and number 2, and that could be rather cumbersome. But you have to think of that. So don't eat burritos the night before surveillance. Not good. Right. So that's we got the little devil and angel on there. Okay, full tank of gas. We talked about your insurance, your PI credentials. I had one of my agents. I didn't update his ID card. He got dropped up. He got picked up by Johnny Law. Okay, they want to see the ID, everything like that. Well, this is invalid. It expired 3 months ago. You can't be on the street. You have call the agency owner. Hey, can I get some courtesy now? No, he's on this. Okay, he wanted to enforce the law. We had my bad. Make sure that your credentials are up for you and you're up to date. Everybody. Food, water, urinals. We talked about that. Bring food, bring water. Sunshades for conceal it. Cash, debit cards. We went over that. Okay. Again, I got a picture of a juggling guy. Very important to make a to-do list.
And sunscreen, unless because you might get pulled into the news probably in a little bit or something.
Proper plan.
You never know. Check in with law enforcement. You know that. Maintain communications with the office or the client at all times. Okay. The fact of the matter is, when you're doing workers' comp, what do we got? Poor intelligence report. Never get a picture of them. We don't know anything about them. So we are RBI, TLO, blah, 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 blah. All right. You got to get as close as you can, actually. So you pull the 28, you pull the tags. You know they got multiple vehicles, but who's driving it? Is it their kid, their wife, whatever? You're going to say, okay, the guy's 41. We heard he's heavyset, balding with a mustache. Obviously, you're going to look for that gentleman maybe coming out, but maybe not. So it's a gamble when you're doing workers' comp. It's a gamble. Oftentimes, you're following the wrong person. It could be his brother staying with him. It could be a lot of things, but you have to pay attention to the ball. So, we have immunity if we're following the wrong person because we're not mind readers, right? You have to obey the laws. Dean and I were talking about this, okay? When you're racing and following the rabbit, I call it chasing the rabbit. If you're not accustomed to bending the rules of the road, and I don't want to talk out of context, but you're going to have to be a little aggressive, okay? So you got to understand, I'm not saying go 150 miles an hour. No, you got to watch out for the snow and the rain and everything like that, and don't endanger anybody else. But you're going to have to, every once in a while, be in that right-hand lane, subject's taking the left, make the right, and then do a U-turn, which could be an infraction of law. But my people, I pay the tickets. Okay? I don't condone it. I don't advocate it. I don't push for it. It's on upon their own free will and volition to do what they have to do. But there's no crying in baseball. You're not going to be a good investigator if you're like, yeah, I couldn't go in that gas station and turn around. That's against the law. You know what? You're going to have to understand, and be a little bit lenient with that, okay?
And primarily following somebody, staying out of their review mirror, and keeping up with them involves not so much, I'm not even advocating going through lights or doing any kind of illegal maneuvers, but I am saying that I am an asshole in traffic. I will cut people off when I have to make a move because I can't get boxed in, I can't get blocked out, I can't end up getting trapped in a situation where my guy's gonna make it through a yellow light and I can't get through the intersection because I'm in people who won't go through the light. So there's times
That was you?
I'm getting honked at almost every single mobile surveillance I'm on. And the finger many times.
Let's talk about personification. All right, when you're following someone, don't look like you're a bad dude, like Mr. Joe Detective, like looking all stern, because let's just say you have to pull up right next to your mark, okay? Happens. Don't be like, jam to the tunes. You're on the phone a little bit, oh, really? So when they look over, you look like a regular dude or a regular gal. But to remember, when you're jumping on the rabbit at first, don't jump immediately on them when the subject departs, okay? Except traffic, you have to do what is called punch and drag. They're getting a leeway on you. They come out of the garage in a nice suburban neighborhood. Yeah, you go. If there's not enough traffic, if it's rush hour, depending what it is, you might have to kiss their bumper or not. Let them go for about a good block, okay? Now you're going to punch, okay? Catch up to them when they take that left, okay? Then you're going to drag. Don't immediately follow after them. So I call it punch and drag. So you're going to be hitting the gas and the brake a lot.
Huge point. Let me add this, and I teach my investigators when I was training this. I hang back. There's always a buffer zone between me and my guy I'm following. You always want to hang back. You want to stay out of the rearview mirror, ultimately, as much as you can. Hide behind other vehicles, and I call them buffer vehicles. Punch and drag, I like that. But as I'm also going to add to this, I am dragging a lot. I am hanging back as far as I can, and if he slows down, I'm slowing down, and I hit my brakes a ton. People behind me hate me. I'm the guy that people are following on. What in the hell is this guy keep hitting his brakes for? I'm hitting the brakes. I'm staying back. Guess what? He can't see my brakes. He's in front of me. Remember that. Huge key. Hit your brakes. Stay back. They can't see your brakes. Also, when you're worried about whether they can see you or not, keep in mind, he's looking at you through a rearview mirror. You're small in the rearview mirror. You're tiny. You can maybe get a little closer than sometimes you think, but that's just another thing to keep in mind.
You might eventually get somebody. Let's just understand that road rage is up by 400% in the last 8 years. Road rage. A lot of people are pissed off. I call it SAD, sudden aggressive disorder. I came up with that acronym.
I'm gonna be the guy getting shot.
Because a lot of people are like, what are you doing, man? I'm on the road. What's wrong with you? So the thing is, be dismissive, be calm, because sometimes a lot of people say, oh, I can't stop. He pulled in, there's traffic. Hey, hazards, double park, they're honking you. Hey, okay, filming. Okay, don't worry about people sending you Christmas cards. Okay, you're there to do surveillance, and that's what it is. You're going to break a lot of people's confidence and their anger levels, but it is what it is. Hazards are just as long as no one's getting hurt or helped or hindered or whatever, you just got to do it. You got to think outside the box. Very, very important. The thing is, right-hand lanes are very important. I'll tell you why. They're in the left or in the right, whatever, because you have the accessibility of red light to take that right, to swing around, or to look for a gas station, swing around, get on the opposite street, go south, he's going north, whatever, swing around, do the U-turn. You're gonna have to practice. But practice never makes perfect. Practice makes better. But when you're doing surveillance, you're gonna really have to be not only objective, but subjective when you're driving, because your objectivity is the follow. But it's subjective of how you're gonna drive and how you're gonna get this thing done. So, Maintain a safe but consistent distance. Break off protocol if subject drives erratically. Notify your supervisor. When you're made, this is funny, you probably concur. A lot of times when you're made, you don't know you're made. But a lot of times when they're just driving, weird, they're like going around the block, you're all stuff. We call it spooked. People get spooked. So now I think I'm made. But we don't know, they're maybe driving for Uber, or they're driving for Uber Eats and they're looking for an address. But right away, we want to assume, and only has to assume, you will definitely know when you're made when you go like this, when they go to the police department. Okay? You would have that happen. They go to the police, oh, okay, it's over. Okay? Now, the thing is also, police intervention, we'll talk about that we'll go to the next slide. But understand this, when you're setting up surveillance, remember, be far enough away not to be observed and be close enough to get your shots. Now, when I say that is, if the police are going to come up on you, you can buffer yourself with distance. If Johnny Law comes back at you, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I checked in, officer, whatever. Always treat the officer with kindness, respect. Okay, the old song, I fought the law always wins. It's not going to happen. Be kind, considerate, be charming. Okay, kiss the dupa, because you're not going to get anywhere else. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of times there's PIs, like ex-cops or whatever, they got kicked off the job. They're like, you don't have to worry about it. I got a license for the state of Illinois. I could be on the street. I don't care if it's in Lake Forest or it's in Hinsdale. I'm okay. Uh-oh, you're a contentious idiot. Now all of a sudden, all the other cops are going to come there and start doing their paperwork right behind you. It happens a lot because there's attitudes out there. You got to lose your attitude when you're doing surveillance. You got to pacify and deny and understand sticking to your story.
That does touch base on a topic. I know we're gonna run out of time, so I did want to say
Good.
something about something important.
We got 10 minutes, 20, 15
It might
minutes.
be on your next slide. Do you want to show videos?
I'm going to see if I have a...
When the police are gonna roll on you, they're gonna ask you sometimes why you're there. And we say that, you don't tell who you're on, you don't tell what you're doing. Exactly. You say you're an investigator, or I'm a licensed private investigator, I'm doing a legal investigation, whatever. You might even tell them maybe what you're doing.
excuse me.
You might sometimes ask.
So you want to see, these are two painters that work for a union. It was against the rules and laws of the union that they worked for a guy with cash doing an Aldi on the side. You can see that it's concise. We're as steady as humanly possible, okay? Sometimes you can have a monopod. Sometimes you can have a tripod. But realistically, your central nervous system has to be adaptive, and you have to move with the flow like Tai Chi, okay? Very, very important. Now, you want headshots, okay? It's obviously painting, okay? We want ID and headshots, and your time and date has to be consistent. If your time and date is not on, that's a problem. Now you're going to have to alter it and put in the report that you alter it, okay? And then the plaintiff's attorney might say, oh, he altered the video. Now with AI, maybe he did something with AI.
Now you're out working with another investigator, two-man job, you both got a video camera. Before that day starts, you synchronize your clocks to the second. Now when you submit one piece of tape and his tape, and then my tape, and then my tape, and then his tape onto a product, the time can't be flipping by 2 or 3 minutes at a time.
Real quick, here is seriously not to put, it's an ex-federal investigator who was off the job for 3 years, retired. He was on the surveillance team. I'm not going to say what agency. This was his work product. Okay? I call it earthquake agent.
I call it heart attack.
But he said, well, I don't have 12-man team. I'm only one guy. Well, do you even know what a video camera is, dude? Okay, because half the time it was this crotch, and then the sky, and then the crotch, and all of a sudden this gets called into court for arbitration or whatever. It's like, where'd you get his license at? A Cracker Jack box?
Yeah, something else came when I saw your video when you sent it. The dirty windows.
Yes.
See the bird dropping on the windshield?
Yes.
There? Holy cow. First thing every day on my surveillance, I'm cleaning all my windows. They're immaculate. I'm cleaning inside the windows probably once a month, but my outside windows are cleaned every day, morning, in the winter time when it's sloppy, snow, slush, salt, 2 or 3 times a day. I'm cleaning my windows, going through rolls and rolls of paper towels.
Well, check this out. At Auto Barn, Check this out. Inside windshield. Tear it with just water.
That'd be good. Your camera lens, you obviously want your camera lens,
Here, how's it?
right? The windows on your van are a lens of your product. Think about that. That's how I have a lot of times in my career heard that my video product is the best that the adjusters and the attorneys have ever seen. Because I think about this stuff all the time. These are the things that just need to become second nature for everybody. That's why
We're running out of time. I want to talk a little bit about also the use of covert video. Now, we can get into the semantics of video and audio and everything. Yes, surreptitious video and audio is not really legal in terms of everybody should know and be privy to. We all know that, especially with the audio. But if it's a place of public venue, it's fine. You can't do washrooms, of course. You can't do locker rooms. You can't do that. You have to use proper discernment when doing that. However, your covert video stuff you should adapt to and practice. You notice I got prescription Ray-Bans. Ha! They're actually Metas. I could take video, 3-minute video with it, audio video. I could dub out the audio. I could take pictures, and Meta could tell me how good I am. Ooh, no, there is a computer on board with Meta. Time and date set. You could ask it any questions. It's very cool. I like it because I'm visually impaired. I love it. I got scriptures in it. The best $300 investment I ever did. It's really cool. Now, everybody raise your hand on your cell phone right now if you have what is called the free app called Time and Date. Raise your hand. Whew, not a lot of people have it. Time and Date is great. Why? Because someone fender bends you. You could take, video of a fender bender with time and date stamp, and it embeds it on the film for the meta tag and the meta files is great. It's free. You can pay $10 for the year to get the better one. If you're doing surveillance, I don't advocate surveillance by a smartphone, but if you're in a pinch, it's better than nothing.
it's always plan B.
It also adds the address where you are.
Yeah, it does. It does. The latitude, longitude, yes.
I have a photo app.
Yeah.
I understand.
They have video. Yeah, it's really cool. It's called Time and Date Stamp. You go on your app to Google Play Store, and you go to iOS, and you can do that. It's very important.
Quick.
What is your thought on door knocks?
Very
One
important.
of his slides actually mentions if somebody's represented.
Oh, it does, but that's okay.
If they're not represented, game on, honestly. I mean, in Wisconsin, Minnesota, they actually have a law you can't pretext. Pretexting in Minnesota is illegal. But Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, if they're not represented, I can't think of a legal problem.
No, you cannot say, I'm with Amazon. I'm with Xfinity. No, you can't. Like what I do to dispel the threat of a Karen coming out of her house, because let's face it, people are hyper-vigilant today. What are you doing, my neighbor? I noticed you're here since 6 a.m. I want to know what you're doing here. Ma'am, I checked in with the department. Everything's fine. No, I want to know. You're not going to say I'm a private investigator. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use constructive deception. I'm going to say, to be honest with you, ma'am, I'm a security officer. Bum, bum, bum. And I'm looking for porch pirates. And I represent a very large delivery company. You get them. Or I'm a process server and I have to serve a gentleman who owes a lot of money in child support, Karen. Yo, what?
Handicapped kid.
Whatever. But the thing is, then they know that you're just looking, it's a delivery guy, I'm waiting to serve them. It's not one of your neighbors. Because you know what's going to happen? The chain of command and gossip is going to go all the way down. So you have to use, sometimes I say I'm a road surveyor. And I actually have a magnetic side that says McBride, which is a bullshit company. And I have a number on it, 815 number. Anybody ever hear of Hush? Oh, you heard of Hush. Hush is great. For $3.25, you can get your very own pretext number, and you can actually have voicemail on it and call your subject and say, hi, I'm with McBride. We're going to be out here in the area in front of your house, ma'am. Blah, blah, blah. It is constructive legal deception as long as I don't alter the name and identity of a major conglomerate, which is illegal.
Or a government entity.
Government entity. But you're going to have to get your P's and Q's down when you're doing pretext calls. I am going to tell you something, I'm old school. You got to be a black belt in tongue as a private investigator when you're doing pretext calls. Especially women are a lot more, I say, a lot more authoritative when they're calling. I'm looking for Jim Elliott. We're trying to deliver a package, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you say, we'll go to the door if they're not represented. Anybody have a yellow vest? You buy them off of Amazon for $12. Says delivery. You walk up, you go get a box, you put a candle set in it for $4 from Five Below. Hi, I just wanted to know, we're doing this giveaway to neighbors and we really appreciate it. Oh, what's your name? Oh, hi, I'm the owner of the house. I'm Andrea. Oh, hi, Andrea. This is my part-time job. I got 2 in college. It's all good. Now you just made contact with the subject and you got your metas on or you got your other covert camera on and now you got, as long as you're out, now the new law is you can record at the door. It used to be before you couldn't go and record inside the domicile. But now it's okay because police could do it, we could do it, it's okay. Now, if she's in her nightgown and everything like that, you don't want to look her up and down because that would be wrong. But the fact of the matter is you could do that. Now you have, for the report, you have a photo that you cut, click, and paste and manufacture into the report. And the client's going to say, hey, that's pretty cool. Wow, you went above and beyond. Yes?
But isn't that recording inside the residence and you can't, I mean, if they're at the door, they're in
The cartilage, they say, now the cartilage is fine now because it's public domain, you're coming up. Now, if you're on the street, you've got your surveillance camera, you're zooming into someone's window. No. Can't. They're doing calisthenics in there. They're dancing, the YMCA and all that stuff. And I got this, you can see this later on. This is a 3,000 times zoom Nikon. It's very cool, but you have to have a steady nervous system. But very cool. It's $1,000. It's worth it. I got 2 stolen ones in my van. You want it? No? Okay.
What model is that?
This is the 900C Nikon.
Sometimes people,
Did they? Oh, well, one up me. No, I'm joking. I want to buy it.
That is a law. They think that if they're in public view, I'm going to get that. So we're here to teach some people who might not know surveillance law. Here's the Illinois Criminal Code, Chapter 720, criminal offenses, unauthorized video recording and live video transmission. It is unlawful for any person or knowingly make a video recording or transmit live of a person without their consent in a restroom, standing room, standing bed, locker room, changing room, or hotel bedroom. Then the next subchapter is also unlawful if you knowingly make video of them, of another person in that other person's residence without their consent. So that's the thing.
so if you're standing on the front door, serving processors.
Cartilage.
And they open the door, and you got your glasses, and you're looking through the whole apartment. That's acceptable.
Your objectivity is to get ID on them. And it's fine the same way the police do with their body cameras. But now it's okay. That's why a lot of SOP people, yes, they do carry. It's very important to carry body cams because anything can happen at the last minute when someone going berserk. Like say Karen here, okay? All right, Karen here with the purple hair, okay? You, as an investigator, you need to dispel the alarm with contentious neighbors. It's going to happen. Use calm language. Do not act authoritative, and stick to your pretext and story. Okay, don't waver. Okay, if they're going to get irate. I got children here. I pay $13,000 in taxes. I demand to know what you are, who you are, and what you're doing. It's going to happen, and it's more predominant today than ever. You feel like saying, hey, lady, shut up. I'm on a public street. Everything's fine. I'm the man. Here's my badge. Nope, not good. They're going to go along the way down and say, everybody, there's a private investigator here. So don't be contentious. Don't be abruptive. Don't be challenging. There's a lot of people that we've known in the past, Andy and I, who are just, they want to challenge. Don't worry about it. I'm a private cop.
Well, the new thing is we used to worry about the neighborhood watch programs, and then they would just call the cops when they see a suspicious vehicle sitting out there. Now, the neighborhood watch is a chat group or a Facebook group in the neighborhood, and they make a post that everybody in the neighborhood knows. And now my claimant might even be a member of that group that knows that there's an investigator down the street. So that's something else to keep in mind, the changing world of
Well,
surveillance.
everybody on the block knows that law.
Well, my rule of thumb is that's why I sit as far away as I humanly
Yeah.
possibly can without screwing the case up. When they move, I'm starting from a distance. So I'm sitting as far away as I can. If these people see me, they can talk. I don't care. My guy's the next block over here. So,
Now, I know we're running out of time. How much?
One quick question.
Yeah.
What's the law as far as videotaping something inside of a garage? Is that part of the residence? Because
Yes. It is.
that
Yeah, it is.
not been tested yet. So if
Yeah.
you want to be the test case,
Right?
that has not gone
It is.
forward yet.
Yeah.
What say you, Fred?
No, detached is not part of the residence. He's talking about attached.
Attached.
garage or inside your
Yeah, that's
garage,
taboo.
doing exercises
Yeah.
Inside your garage. I have heard both. I would think that if they're violating the law with the work comp fraud, then the intent is gonna protect you and defend you. Hopefully that you can have an attorney, and I might have to pay an attorney to get me out. You might get a not guilty ruling, hopefully you do, and hopefully Fred can.
So it's still a lot of gray area.
That issue has not been just tried yet.
This facet in the field, we said gray. How about 75 million shades of gray, the new movie for an investigator? There are often times you could be criminally trespassed, you don't know. There's a garage door that's open. There's no trespassing signs there. It's attached garage into a big apartment complex. You want to get your mark coming out? Oh, okay, I'm going to drive up there. It's open to the public. I don't know.
That's the one discretion. Think about it. If it's not worth it, don't check it. If they're not doing anything in violation, don't worry about it. But now you got the kill shot. He's lifting up the 50 pounds and he's got a 10-pound restriction. Well, now you got to evaluate whether you want to get involved. Outside.
Yes.
I would think the garage case, driving by the street, garage doors open, it's public view.
Yeah, but if you gotta-
Yeah, but you're not supposed to zoom inside of people's. Now, personally, I do it.
Probably.
I do.
Especially if they're violating restrictions. If it's
What
a
else
kill
that-
shot, I call it the kill shot, get it.
So,
And then call Fred.
yeah, there it is, friends. So here's the thing. I have a lot more information, covert cameras, body worn, everything. I was going to show you some covert camera on the screen here. Now, everybody think about remote video surveillance. Oh man, that sounds technological. It's expensive. How about for 40 bucks? I could show you cameras and ways to put a camera with a jetpack, with a wireless MiFi, either through Verizon or T-Mobile, in your vehicle, say bye-bye, go away, have lunch, make love to your wife, come back, you got the footage. I have ways to do this remotely. Okay, covert cameras, everything. You have to practice with it though, because you're not going to be perfect, but you're going to be better. But if during lunch you want to come by, I can show you a whole array and a whole assortment, because I'm the covert guy also too. I mean, all different types of smoke detectors of this. I do a lot of internal investigations, theft investigations for corporate, this, that, next thing. There's a lot to it.
Are you selling covert equipment?
Not really. I just say, go to Amazon. No, just go to Amazon. I used to have a spy shop years ago in Des Plaines, if anybody ever remember that. It used to be called Spy Source. And I had it actually for 12 years. And I designed a lot of things for government, police entities, a lot. And so I could take things and manufacture them, put cameras in just about anything. Okay? I'm sorry?
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So any other questions you want to come? I know that the panel's saying out of time. You want to come, you want to take a look at all our groovy stuff, night vision. But how about this? Real quick. Anybody says, it's nighttime, I can't take surveillance. Have some French fries and a Happy Meal. There is a way that you could buy a $200 pair of binoculars that are AI night vision off Amazon today that takes beautiful video time and date stamp. Beautiful.
We're actually raffling off. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna be a prize for somebody today.
All right, hey, fix is in?
Thank you.
No, joking. All right, thank you.